What's up, guys? So it's time for something different. So I was thinking what games I am most anticipating for 2017. There's no secret there. People know that I'm looking forward to Mass Effect Andromeda. People know that I'm looking forward to Horizon Zero Dawn. But me being me, I went and I got some cookies. No, but seriously, I did. So I looked at some games that I didn't know about. I looked at some games that maybe a lot of people haven't heard about. I looked at some games that I don't really look at ever. And I don't know why, because I like these types of games. I grew up on these types of games. And those are platformers, side-scrollers, puzzle games, that type of stuff. I looked at the indie games. Why is there a 10 flashing up? I'm getting a countdown on my camera. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is it gonna self-destruct? So my card was full, but my camera was being a drama queen about it. For years, I hadn't really played indies, but last year I played Hyper Light Drifter and I fell in love with it. And recently, the gaming industry has really boomed when it comes to indie games. Now when you hear indie game, you don't think of, oh, that's probably a low-budget, small game that, you know, probably nobody will ever even hear of and probably won't even enjoy. No, it's like, these are Game of the Year contenders now. And 2015 and some of 2016 was the year of Kickstarter. Like, some publisher won't fund a game, an indie game, or a small developer, or some developer gets scratched off from some big publishing company like Lionhead Studios. A lot of them got scratched, especially from Microsoft. But now you hear developers that happened to saying, let's go to Kickstarter and have the fans publish our games. So it's kind of cool that that's available. But there's also that question of, is this game really going to be good? Is it really worth our money to publish it? Are they really going to do what they're promising? Which I think is something that publishers, big publishers, think of anyways. I am glad I looked these up because otherwise I probably wouldn't have even heard of them. None of these are in any order. 1 to 5, that's it. Pyre by Supergiant Games. Now that developer I'm sure a lot of you have heard of. They are the developers of Bastion and Transistor, just to name a few. I loved Bastion. It was brilliant to me. The music, the narration. I never played Transistor, but I know it was slightly different from what Bastion was. So Pyre is a party-based action RPG, and you're leading a group of exiles trying to gain their freedom from this purgatory. And the way that you gain your freedom is through this ancient competition called The Right. It's kind of like a game within a game. The combat has been compared to Dota, Rocket League, and Transistor. And I was like, Rocket League? Really? 3 versus 3. It could be you versus AI, or it could be actual co-op. There are 3 characters. You can control all 3, but only one at a time. You're in this arena, and you've got pyres on each side. So these are like your goals. And the characters have to release these orbs to destroy the pyres on the opposing side. But it's not just that, like, it's also an RPG. Like, there's a day and night cycle. In the morning, you can move around, you could travel and stuff like that. And I believe that's when the competition takes place. But in the night, you actually, like, you leave the competition and you either scavenge for supplies, you could learn more of the world's lore, or mentor the 3 exiles to level up. This one is narrated like Bastion was. The narrators kind of reminded me a little bit of Dumbledore. Release date is to be announced in 2017. And platforms are PS4 and PC. Sundered by the developer Thunder Lotus. This game is still in Kickstarter, so you could still fund it. I was sold the minute I saw the way it looks, the soundtrack. I was like, oh my god, this is gorgeous. The art is hand-drawn, and the gameplay kind of reminds me a little bit of Hyper Light Drifter. It's got your epic battles, it's challenging, it says you will die a lot. It's a Metroidvania type of game, so a little bit like Metroid and Castlevania. So you're a type of survival side scroller. A lot of tracking back and that kind of thing. The look of it is very Lovecraftian, which I love. Like the Elder Signs, it's the Elder Shards now, and it's just, and it's got a lot of like tentacle type creatures, and it just looks so cool. The tagline for this game is resist or embrace. You are presented with a lot of really challenging battles, but the gameplay and the combat all depends on whether you resist or embrace the ancient Eldritch powers. Again, Eldritch, that's also Lovecraftian. If you do embrace these powers, you become corrupted. So you can defeat these gigantic bosses without these powers, but it would be a lot easier if you did, but you would be corrupting yourself, and you would be doing this at the cost of your humanity. The dungeons are procedurally generated. The overall world is set in stone, but only sections of the world of the map is procedurally generated. So every time you die, sections of the map change, and so do the monsters. Some of the videos I've seen, I was like, oh my gosh, you get swarms, and it's crazy, but some of your abilities will help you. You can upgrade your character, and again, whether you resist it or you embrace, that depends on the type of skill you'll have. It's the same skill, just slightly different, whether you corrupted yourself or not. So like I said, they are still in Kickstarter, but they already surpassed their goal. Their goal was $18,850, and they surpassed it by raising about $50,000 with 27 days to go. Even though they already reached their goal, the more they make, the more the game will have. So if this game sounds interesting to you, I'll have links in the description. Click it. They have a lot of information on their Kickstarter. Scroll all the way down so you can see a sample of one of the songs in the soundtrack. I love that song. So yeah, you guys have to hear it. At least hear it. Even if you don't support it, just hear the song. It's so cool. It's just got this haunting soundtrack, and I would love to play this game just listening to it. So far it's for PC, Mac, and PS4, and the release date is sometime in July of this year. Hello Neighbor. Developed by Dynamic Pixels and published by Tiny Build. This is a first-person survival horror stealth game. It has a very Pixar-like art style. So that was the first thing that caught me. I was like, oh, this looks like a Pixar movie. I'm not a huge fan of horror games and like those types of games where you have to like hide and stuff, like Amnesia. When I was younger, I loved the movie The Burbs with Tom Hanks. It reminds me a little bit of The Burbs. You move into this new suburb, and your neighbor, there's something weird about him. Like he's doing something that you think is probably not right. So like anybody would do, you would go and break into their house. Duh. You have to find a way to break into their house to find out their secret. They're saying that this game has a very advanced AI. The guy learns from it and he'll adapt. So this game is currently in alpha. There is a free pre-alpha and alpha 1 demo available to everyone. So you could download this on Steam. I haven't done this yet, but I definitely will. Links again will be in the description if you want to do that. And if you want more, if you want to be a part of all of the testing and every version that comes out of this game, there you can pay $29.99, which is for the early alpha access. It gets you behind the scenes access, and you could try out the different builds that they put out. The release date for Hello Neighbor is sometime in 2017, and as of now, it's only going to be for PC. This next game, I could not remember the name of. I saw this game on Twitter the other day, and I can't remember who tweeted it. So I went to Twitter and I even asked people. I was like, I think the character has like a green hood, and I was like, I think the name Die was in it. And I finally thought, I was like, I think it was Game Informer that tweeted it. So I went to Game Informer's Twitter, and I just started scrolling, and I found it, and it was called Little Nightmares, and the character had a yellow hood, so I was way off. The developers, I'm probably gonna butcher this, Tarsier Studios, or Tarsier. The fancy way of saying it is Tarsier. Little Nightmares is probably, out of this whole list, the one I'm most looking forward to. I think it looks absolutely stunning. I don't think I've ever seen a game like that. I don't think I've ever played a game like that. This looks like Pinocchio, Alice in Wonderland, Tim Burton, and used this expression the other day. I said it looks vibrantly creepy. Little Nightmares is pretty much about this 9-year-old girl named Six. She's kidnapped from her home and is taken to work at this place called the Maw. Not the mall, the Maw. And that's pretty much the game, her escape from this place. But in the process, you get a glimpse of what they're calling the corruptness of modern happiness. This game does have a release date. It's going to come out on April 28th, 2017. And it's going to be for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. I'm not going to miss this game. I'm going to get it day one. It just looks so good. And last but definitely not least, Pray for the Gods by No Matter Studios. This game was on Kickstarter, but I believe it's already ended. But it does say support us, so I think you could still support the project. This game reminds me a little bit of the newer Zelda games. Pray for the Gods is a single-player action adventure survival game. Its goal was to reach 300k and it surpassed that and reached about 501,000. So basically you play this lone hero that is sent to the edge of a dying world to discover the mystery of a never-ending winter. You could use weapons like a bow, a sword, you have grappling hooks, you have different outfits that you could loot off different monsters and stuff. You could hunt because you do need to get supplies, food and stuff like that because this is a survival game. There is a dynamic day and night cycle and a weather system. So you could be walking in the snow one day with the sun out and then a blizzard hits and you need to find shelter to warm up or you will die. The monsters are ginormous and you could just climb up on the monsters and find weaknesses to kill them. It says it combines different types of gameplay, which I was kind of surprised with the range of games. Shadow of the Colossus, Deus Ex, DayZ, and Bloodborne. Exploration is rewarding because you do get supplies that you need to survive, but it's also risky. Your footsteps in the snow help you find your way back if you get lost. And if you're walking in snow that is too deep, you get more tired and you get more hungry. I can't wait. I can't wait to play this game. And I thought it was a brilliant play on words because it's spelled, Pray for the Gods is spelled P-R-E-Y. As in prey predator instead of P-R-A-Y. So that's my list of 5 games off the beaten track of 2017 that I am looking forward to. 2017 sounds like it's going to be a great year for games. Not just the big ones, but the little ones as well, and that's exciting. These games, these indie developers, these developers that do take the risks because they're not afraid to go to the fans and be like, could you guys help us out to make this awesome game? And not just for the PC anymore, now for the consoles, and they're kind of making it more of a known thing. It's not just this underground thing anymore. They're not the underdog anymore. But yeah, that's why I wanted to do this on these games so that you guys could go look at them, see if you like them, and if you have a list of your own, let me know in the comments down below because I am totally for finding more games that I have just overlooked. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.